with me if you want to live. You just don't turn it off.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the channel. My name is Jason. You're watching Backtrack Cinema, where we talk movies of the past that you know and love. And today, guys, I thought I'd throw in a Rocky character tier ranking. So we're going to talk about all the characters from the Rocky Creed movies, do a little tier ranking of them all. I've seen this on YouTube quite a bit, doing character rankings. I kind of like the idea. So I haven't done a tier ranking in a long time. So you know what? Rocky's my comfort zone, so I could just go on here and I'm going to give you my instincts right off the bat of where I would put each character. So let's head on over for the tier ranking. So comment, subscribe, all that jazz, like the video. It really helps the channel out a lot. It allows me to even do bigger and bigger videos too, the more successful we are, guys. So thank you a bunch. So here we go, guys. We got for our rankings the number one, the champ. So that's the best of the best. Then we got the number one contender. In the middle, we got potential. So this character has potential to be better, but it's not exactly a terrible character. We have a nobody, an absolute nobody, goes under the radar, and a bum, as Mickey would say, an absolute bum. And all these characters are from Rocky and Creed. The first one we got here is Adonis Creed. Now, Adonis, I don't mind Adonis. I mean, he has a bit of an attitude. Sometimes the way he treats Rocky, the people around him, he does not have the charisma of Apollo. And Creed 3 really showed, in my opinion at least, that I don't think he can carry this franchise. I mean, it is relying on Rocky a bit too. So I don't know if this could be unpopular or not, but I'm going to put Adonis, at least at this point in time, just as potential. I think he had potential to be a lot better. Those first two Creed movies are good because Rocky is really good in it. It's more of the relationship together. Oh my goodness. Adrian. Adrian is the heart and soul of Rocky Balboa. She's his other half. She's the one that's always there for him, pushes him, you know, the love of his life. I mean, Adrian is so good. She's the champ. I mean, she is the champ. She's one of the best characters in the entire franchise. Her arc, her story arc, the way she went from this timid, you know, unblossomed flower and she blossoms into something really, really beautiful, really strong. And by the time we see her in Rocky 5, the last time we see her, she is the head of the family. She is, you know, she's there to protect her family. And she really is a magnificent character. And even though she's not in Rocky Balboa physically, her spirit just soars through that whole movie and is the touching part of the film. We got Amara Creed. So this is Adonis's daughter. We just don't get to know a whole lot about her. I mean, she's born deaf. She's got a lot of things, you know, going against her, but there's just not a much for her. I'm not saying she's exactly a bum, but I'll put her in nobody. Apollo Creed, the master of disaster. Apollo Creed's arc is so good. Going from, you know, he goes from this, giving this underdog a shot at the title to becoming kind of like the villain in Rocky 2. That's when we kind of hate Apollo the most, but you're not fully hating on him. Becoming a friend of Rocky in Rocky 3. He dies in Rocky 4. And he becomes something of a legend after that. And so much charisma from Carl Weathers, rest in peace. He played this character to perfection. He has heart. He knows who he is. He knows what he wants. He's so sure of himself. How could I not put him in the champ? You know what I mean? Just Apollo's such a great character. We have Bianca. So Bianca she's not exactly, I wouldn't say she's the greatest character of all time. Again, you know, she's the love interest of Creed. They flesh her out enough. You know, she's that Adrian to this character. You know what I mean? But again, I'll put her in potential. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. I do like the Creed films, the first two Creed films. I just don't think they have the same heart. They don't have the same characters as the other ones. Clever Lang, one of the greatest Rocky villains. He was deadly, he was nasty, he was funny, charisma, all that kind of stuff. I don't exactly put him up into the champ, but he's definitely a number one contender. Clever Lang. I mean, the way he trash talk Rocky and Adrian and calls out Rocky to a fight right into the street. The greatest one liners. I pity the fool who tries to take what I got. And he's, I want Balboa. I want Balboa. He's just great, great little character, man. Everything about this character is just mean and nasty. Damien. I didn't really like this character. I thought he was too bleak of a character for this Rocky franchise. Um, do I hate the character? I don't exactly hate him, but I'm gonna put him under nobody. I just don't think he fits within this franchise, and I get it. He's kind of had everything taken from him, and in that, I just didn't really care for this character at all. You know what I mean? He just didn't jive with me on any level. Blake Wheeler, I believe his name is. I might be getting this character's name wrong. So this is when Adonis got a chip on his shoulder in Creed. This dude knocks him out. Then Adonis ends up beating him later in Creed films. Again, we don't know much about him. He's just a big trash talker, really. But I'm gonna put him under. Oh, this is tough. Nobody or a bum. I don't know. Screw it. We gotta have a bum. He's a bum. He's a bum, man. And just nothing to him. Just a trash talker. So, yeah. Tony Duke. I love me some Tony Duke. You really get the feeling that he cares for Apollo so much. The performance is so good. We hardly know him in Rocky 1, and we get to know him more and more and more, especially in Rocky 4. Rocky 4 is definitely his movie when he trains Rocky to fight Ivan Drago. And I think maybe that may be his best performance in this. And Rocky Balboa, he comes back for Rocky Balboa to train Rocky, but a tough as nose trainer, a guy with a lot of heart. Great performance by Tony Burton. So I'm going to give Tony Duke here number one contender for sure. Then we got Little Duke, Tony Duke's son. I really believe he's probably one of the best parts of Creed, of the Creed movies, is Little Duke. Best part of Creed 3 for sure. But there's definitely room he could have grown a lot more. So I'm gonna put him under. He has potential. He's not a bad character, but they could have done a lot more with him too. Father Kamai. This is where Rocky goes to before every fight. Give me some luck there. Send us a prayer and everything like that. Um, I don't know. There's just a warmth to this character. There's a charm to this character. Um, Through the eyes of Rocky, he married Rocky. Then after that, he would always go to him for a little prayer and everything. I'll put him under potential because we just didn't. If we didn't get to know him that well, it's hard for us to really. He's the middle of the ground because you just didn't know much of him. Oh my goodness, I don't even know who this character is, guys. I think this is the character who gets the shit kicked out of him. Number 3. I don't even Creed 3. I don't even remember his name. So you know what? He's but you know what? This fighter had a little bit of heart and everything. So I won't put him as a bum, but just because he's not fleshed out, I'll put him on nobody. I think this is George Washington Duke from Rocky 5. He's just a caricature, you know what I mean? Never liked this character. I'm gonna put him under bum. Because he is. He's a bum. The way he treated Rocky, the way he's twisting everything around, just for profit. Terrible character, man. Terrible character in this franchise. Not a big fan of him. Ivan Drago. Now, a lot of you believe that he's the greatest villain in the Rocky franchise. I won't argue with that necessarily. I love me some Mr. T before Ivan Drago. But what Ivan Drago comes into his own is the Creed movies. I think the story between Ivan Drago and his son is a lot more effective than the way we got to know him in Rocky 4, right? So I'm taking a look at the whole franchise here, and I like Ivan Drago because how intimidating he is without saying anything. I love Dolph Lundgren. He's a number one contender for sure. I love Dolph Lundgren. I love what he brought to Ivan Drago. Just the Siberian Express, man. The cheap redhead in the front row. This is just eye candy for Tommy Gunn, and I thought she was a terrible character. Rocky 5 wasn't really hitting on all the characters, so she's a bum. not big on her character at all. Oh, blonde poison. Ivan Drago's wife, Ludmilla. Just how pompous she is in Rocky 4. Just how two-faced she is, shaking hands with Marion Creed, saying, hope after all, they're fighters. They're sportsmen, not soldiers, you know what I mean? And then in Creed 2, the way she treats her son because he's not winning and he's getting the shit beat out of him and she leaves. Bitch Express, man. She's is a bum. Absolute bum. Terrible fucking character. And not a good actress either. Marianne Creed. Now, Marianne Creed's been played by two different actresses, but pretty much been in every single movie almost. She was in Rocky 1, Rocky 2, um, not every movie. Rocky 1, 2, Rocky 4, obviously, um, and the Creed movies. So we get to see her, as Apollo Creed's wife. Then they retcon this storyline of where Apollo cheated on her. There's this that's where we get Adonis Creed from, and she ended up raising Adonis because she was her husband's son. You know what I mean? Very noble woman, huge heart. This woman, I like what they did with her in the Creed movies. I like what they did with her in the original movies. Like she's got some good moments with Apollo, especially in Rocky 4 when he ends up getting killed. She tried to get to the ring. Really good performance by the actress's name. I forget her name now. I think it's Sylvia something. Her name escapes me, but I really do like her. I'm gonna put her under number one contender. Actually, I think. Look at that. I like her more than Adonis. That's how much I like her. So yeah, cool character. We got Little Marie, guys. Yo, Little Marie. We see her in the first movie, and then she gets tied back into Rocky Balboa. I wish we got to see more of her in the Creed movies, but I get it. They were about Creed and everything like that. But like this actress who played her, I like her in the original. She's got a cool arc where she treated Rocky badly, didn't take his advice. Her life's kind of, hasn't been what she wanted. Rocky Balboa, she's very underconfident. She's been really beaten down. Rocky's trying to build her confidence back up. They formed this really great friendship. I really do like her, man. I'm going to put her under. Little Marie goes under number one contender for sure. Mason the Lion Dixon. I think this is one of the worst Rocky villains. No respect for Rocky. Even when he starts fighting him, you're a crazy old man. He finally gets a little respect, but he's so pompous. He's so arrogant. It's like the whole world evolves around him. I'm not a big fan of this character. Not a big fan of this character, but so he's more of a nobody than not exactly a full blown bum, but more of a nobody. Mickey Goldmill. Mickey has some of the best moments in this franchise. Essentially Rocky's, father, the fatherly type figure to Rocky, always pushing Rocky. They hash it out many, many times. I mean, when Mickey died, you really felt all the emotion. Mickey is such a great character, man. Such a great character. The perfect trainer for Rocky because he's this washed out trainer. Rocky was this underdog who got the shot at the title. Mickey takes him on, right? I love the, I want to be your manager scene. I love the Rocky 2 character moments, like in the church. Why don't you stand up and fight this guy hard? Just, he's almost become a caricature, Mickey. You could only, like, he's almost made fun of now because of the way he talked and everything, but so many emotional moments with this character and he really loved Rocky right down to his soul. Always wanted to see him do the best he could. He's the champ. Mick's the champ, man. Fantastic character. Paulie, played by the great Burt Young, I mean, treats Adrian like freaking garbage, treats everybody around him like garbage, but there's something about him that you just absolutely love. You really do. Paulie is just so instrumental in this franchise. He really does love his sister deep down, even though he treats her like garbage. And, he doesn't exactly go on his, I don't know, he doesn't, he's always Paulie. He's always there. You do get more, he opens up a little bit more, like in Rocky 4, when he says, like, if I could unzip myself, Rocco, and be someone else, I want to be you. He's great stuff there. I wish we got to see, like, his death, but in Creed, they just write him out completely. Um, stupid freaking ending to a character. What he did, his performance in Rocky Balboa is great. The way we see him in Rocky 1, he's like Rocky's best friend, brother-in-law, best friend. He pisses Rocky off half the time, but there's something lovable about him. He adds all that humor to the Rocky franchise too. I can't help it, man. He's such a great character. I gotta put him up. Like the legacy characters are just fantastic. I gotta put them on number one. Pretty Rickley Conlon was kind of a cool character. I really did like him. They bring him back, and Creed beats him again. He's a real fighter in real life, so he just has that trash talking, that edge. I love that he's British. It gave something a little bit different. He has so much more potential, I think, this character. So I'll put him under potential. He had so much more potential, but I dug the vibe of the character. Rocky's son. Now Rocky's son's kind of cool character. You don't get much of him in the first four Rocky films, a little bit. Rocky 5, played by Sage Stallone, very good performance. I like what he was going through. I can relate to Rocky 5. I think we've all been there, Rocky ignoring his family, trying to pursue something he really loves, and it bites him in the ass kind of thing. And then Rocky Balboa, we get more of that relationship fleshed out, where we get a really good character arc from him, though, where he's going to stand by his father, stand by Rocky, forever. Now Creed kind of opens that wound. It's one thing I didn't like, how that he moved away from Rocky, wasn't there with him during cancer. Didn't really like that, but Robert has a this unique perspective, right? He's more like Adrian, that he's smart, he's educated, he doesn't understand his father half the time, but he loves his father very much. And the real big conflict is that he's always under his father's shadow. So he had to kind of get away from him. That's the way they wrote it, which I get, but I like their character development, or his character development in Rocky Balboa. He's going to be a number one contender for sure. Oh my goodness, Rocky Balboa. I mean, there's not much to say here. I mean, the champ. Rocky is my favorite character of all time, movie character. He feels like a best friend whenever you watch that original Rocky movie. Everything he goes through, the trials, the mistakes, what makes him, when you see him in Creed, what makes him this wise, experienced person who just has so much to offer on life and everything. So we've seen him go through. We see Rocky's journey, what he goes through with his marriage and his family, and the fights he took on, and the trials he had to go, the things he had to overcome. He's obviously the champ. Obviously, man. Spider Rico. Spider Rico comes back in Rocky Balboa. We get to learn about him more. There's a great cut scene about his funeral, which I don't understand, but yes, definitely more potential. There was a lot more potential there with Spider Rico. Really dig some Spider Rico. Leo, I forget his name, but so Rocky had a neighborhood friend and his father, Pete, and this is his son, who ends up fighting Adonis Creed, and he loses to Adonis Creed. But I kind of dug this character. He was one of those fighters that has a lot of respect for the people he's fighting. He has respect for Rocky, respect for his father. Still, you do not get to know him that much. But I'm going to say I think there was some potential for this character to come back in the Creed franchise for sure. Thunderlips is here in the flesh, baby. The ultimate male versus the ultimate meatball. Hulk Hogan as Thunderlips. Is this pure fun entertainment, throwing Rocky around like a rag doll? He's all about the entertainment, the show, the girls, all that. And then Rocky, once he gets him calm, it was all an act, really. That's what's so funny about that scene. But pure entertainment, number one contender. I absolutely love Hulk Hogan as Thunderlips. Just an iconic character in this franchise. Tommy Gunn, unfortunately, is a terrible character. There could have a lot more done with him, but the way they executed him was awful. They just did not make him likable. It's too bad. He's not, obviously, I think they should have got an actor and just taught him how to box, but they got a fighter, tried to teach him how to act. It didn't fly. So he's a bum. I mean, it just can't get behind a character. It's one of the things that really brings Rocky 5 down, even though I do love Rocky 5. Tony Gazzo. Tony Gazzo. Now, this is a character kind of like the father, the only fatherly figure Rocky had before Mick come along. Gave Rocky a job. He's working on the docks and stuff. But Tony did give him some good advice. Remember when he's sweeping in Rocky 2 and he's not fighting no more? And he points to the thing and he offers him a job and everything. Rocky won't take it. Says, "Well, you won't work for me." He looks at the Rocky from Rocky 1, the picture, and he goes, "You remember that guy, Rock?" So you know what? You know what? Tony is number one contender. You know, he kind of, I guess he could say he used Rocky's potential a bit, maybe took advantage of him here and there, but he saw the strength in Rocky. He saw he did see his overall potential and was, for he was always there as much as he could be. He was at his fights, let him make a living, even though it's the living Rocky didn't really want. But yeah, I like Tony. I do really do. Union Kane is a worthless bum, man. He was an absolute bum. Just a trash talking, very caricature like, nothing to him. There's not much to say about him at all, man. He was freaking just a really dumb character, I think. Victor Drago. Now, dare I say, I'm sorry, everyone. Dare I say this? Number one contender. I actually like Victor Drago as a character. I wish we got to see a lot more of him. So I'm putting him in number one contender, man. That scene at the end of Creed 2 where he's battling and battling, he's getting his ass kicked, and then his dad throws the towel in, is really emotional, man. I don't like the way they brought him back in Creed 3. You know what I mean? The way they handled that, but he's a really complex character. He loves his father. He doesn't know why his father is trying to appease these, this Russian government. These people treated you like trash. They don't care for you. So there was a lot more to him. I want to put him in maybe potential, but there's something about him I just really, really like. You know what I mean? He's been used as a pawn, but his character arc by the end of it just pushed him into number one contender for me. So that is it, guys. That is all the Rocky characters as you see here. We got the best characters: Adrian, Apollo, Mickey, Paulie, and Rocky. Number one contenders: Clever Lang, Tony Duke, Ivan Drago, Marion Creed, Little Marie, Rocky's son, Thunderlips, Tony Gaza, and Victor Drago. Potential to grow better. We have Adonis Creed, Bianca, Little Duke, Father Kamai, Pretty Ricky Collins, Federico, and Leo. Nobody characters: Amara, Damien. I don't even remember this dude's name from Creed 3, I think, and Mason Line Dixon, and worthless bums: Danny Wheeler, Washington Duke, the cheap redhead, Ludmilla Drago, Tommy Gunn, and Union Kane. So yeah, guys, that is it. That's the characters of the Rocky tier ranking. I hope you enjoyed this video, but you got to let me know how you feel about all these characters. If you want to go and do your own little tier ranking, I'll try and put a link. Let me try and put a link in the description below when I release this video of where I went to create this, and maybe you can, send it to me with a snapshot or something where you would put everyone. That'd be a lot of fun. Stay for the end card to put related content there. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, like, comment, share, all that jazz. Thank you for watching, guys. I will see you next time. My name is Jason. You're watching Backtrack Cinema, and I'll see you in the movies. Cheers.